Well, we shall certainly see as we are about to get underway here. The object of Dragon Warrior for our racers to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord, and they'll need to collect certain key items to trade in for the Rainbow Drop, which will allow our runners to enter Sherlock Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. We'll also be fighting enemies one at a time to gain weapons or to gain experience and levels to go stronger. Although they won't need to buy any weapons this time around, as we're starting with Erdrick's Sword, the best weapon in the game.
We're starting with all kinds of stuff. 26 HP, 13 MP. They don't have any spells to use yet, but they have a big sword they can swing around. So, actually, I think we're going to see our runners probably skip over the first zone near the castle and head out and look for maybe some of those slightly stronger enemies to get experience.
Well, we see right by the start, just to the southwest, there are the blocks for Sherlock Castle, as Lord of the Synth gives us a little bit better view of that. And Jackimus trying for a wolf, but wolf's a little too strong here.
Yeah, the sword's nice. It's not quite that nice. Sherlock is going to be nice later on, being that close. Doesn't really matter too much now, but when it's go time, it's going to be very convenient to have it really close.
Most certainly is. So as you can see, they're fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as Lord of the Synth now going to level 2 with 2 power, 1 speed, 3 hit points, 3 magic points. Not that great, all things considered. And oh, look at that. Just to the southeast of Sherlock, we have a town in the swamp. Let's see if Lord of the Synth can get to it.
Looks like he's going to make it, and it is Cantlin.
The proverbial shopping mall of Alefgard, and just a mere 18 gold in his possession.
This beginning is kind of interesting. Synth hung around real close to the castle on those desert tiles and was killing some ghosts and some slimes. Jack went a little further out and he found a Magidrake, which instantly gave him 12 experience. And, might have had a chance at that Drakema, but the Drakema was having none of it. So, kind of two different strategies here at the start.
Yeah, divergence of strategies. Synth just doing some browsing, seeing what's there, kind of planning ahead for some defensive items. As Jackimus now heading out as well here. So, as you can see, the overworld map's certainly randomized, as are the locations of the towns and caves. Also, the content to the treasure chests and search spots, as in the normal game, you don't get the best weapon right in the start. Oh, wow. Look at this level gain. 13 power, 11 MP, plus a spell. We'll find out what that is in a moment. And, oh, wow, look at those spells.
Just in time, right? A Hurtmore. Oh, it couldn't survive one attack from the Arnite, but Hurtmore just in time, too, in case they run into some baddies. Like Lord of the Synth had that rogue scorpion he couldn't take out. Well, Hurtmore, I believe on this level that Synth just got, is going to take care of that real fast, too.
Yeah, this is the mother of levels here. 13, 4, 4, 11, and 5 spells. Hurt, Radiant, Stop Spell, Heal More, and Hurt More. And we're just 3 minutes in here. This is this could be pretty fly by the seat of your pants here. I better get the rest of the explanation now, because the game might be over if I'm not careful here. Is now level 4.
There was another level with everything. Yeah, you see Synth using that Hurtmore to take out a Wyvern, which is a pretty powerful enemy, and it just goes away very quickly. And he's going to get his giant level 4 as well.
He's going to get 2 levels out of this. Right on the number to 82 is going to leap from level 3 to level 5.
One thing we haven't mentioned too much of yet is that agility. I think they'll both be quite happy to see 18 on one side and 23 agility on the other side. Agility is especially nice here because we can repel enemies once our agility is higher than their strength. That's really nice for the end game, especially when you're trying to run into Sherlock and you don't particularly want a whole lot of encounters. If you can repel a lot of those Sherlock encounters, you're pretty happy about it. And with that high agility, that could help in the end game.
And we see Lord of the Synth purchasing a dragon scale and putting that on. When you wear that, it gives you 2 extra defense points that you can keep even if you sell or get rid of the item after putting it on. And now here is level 5 for Jackimus.
Which we sort of saw on Synth's side, but it was packaged together with level 4, so he'll be happy with that. Also a nice little level, too.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to get at least a little bit of a breather here, although Jack now with a Hurtmore and a Rogue Scorpion, and that gets him just 9 experience away from level 6.
Oh, and he's got a cave, too. Oh, he's got another Rogue Scorpion. Rogue Scorpions are perfect right now. You're guaranteed to hit them with Hurt More, and they're guaranteed to die to a Hurt More. So as long as our runners don't get back attacked, they are for sure going to pick up 70 experience with a Hurt More on them.
Yeah, the hurt resistance, hurt or hurt more spells, 0 out of 16. It is a guaranteed shot. And now here comes level 6, and we've got the Rainbow Drop Cave, affectionately known as the Jerk Cave, because if you don't have the 3 items to acquire the Rainbow Drop, most notably Erdrick's Token, but also the Staff of Rain and Stones of Sunlight, he will kick you out of the cave like the jerk that he is.
Jackimus hurting the swamp there. I've done that plenty of times. But also pointing out they have Heal More, which is a nice little spell to have, especially with swamp.
Well, out of resources there, as Heal More costs 8 MP, and Jackimus only had 7, so had to take the damage in the swamp. 2 hit points of damage for each step you take through those black swamp tiles. And now here is level 7 over on Lord of the Synth side. 7 power, 2 speed, 2 hit points, 8 magic points, and the Spell of Return, which brings you back to the castle. Not that they've ventured too terribly far from there.
Man, 7 more power. I saw about a minute ago, Jack checked his stats. He had 87 attack power already, and Lord of the Synth, presumably has the same, and just got 7 more dumped on top. We're going to be over 100 power at this rate in no time, and we just started 5.
Yeah, I guess the powers that be of the Seed, the Seed wanted us to have this be a very short commentary.
Jackimus has found a mountain coastal cave there. He takes out a droll. There are 5 treasure chests in here, and he's going to be hunting for, as you said earlier, those key items, those quest items he needs to make the Rainbow Drop, the Silver Harp, the Stones of Sunlight, or maybe a token.
Whoa, and he gets away from the Red Dragon, known as the Fun Police, because when they show up, the fun tends to stop, and he runs from him twice!
Oh my god, 3 in a row!
Third time's the charm as well!
Someone get lotto numbers from Jack right now.
Oh, but now the back attack, and no chance to run this time. Jackimus sent to the proverbial penalty box, getting a lecture from the king, losing half of his gold, and about 15 seconds of time. Yeah, the luck running out there, but certainly, 3... Oh, man. 3 runs from the Red Dragon, which is among the enemies with the highest agility in the game, so your likelihood of running away from them is minimal. But Jackimus cared not, and now here is level 7 on Jack's side, as Lord of the Synth, going with some herbs, holding off on those heal mores, trying to save the MP to use for hurt mores. That's a very heads-up play.
They don't have a ton of resources, and when you have to use hurt mores and heal mores, they add up, so the herbs are not.
And now here's level 8. 2 power, 12 speed, 16 hit points, 2 magic points, another new spell. It looks like outside this time.
Well, there's that agility and the hit points they were missing out on, or were a little low on, so that'll be a welcome sight as well, as Lord of the Synth finds Jerk Cave. I think Jackimus is going to head right back to Mountain Cave. I thought it was very interesting what he was doing. He of course saw the red dragons on the top floor, and he was going to bypass the top floor chest and try to get down to the bottom as soon as possible. The bottom has a totally different monster zone, and there are 4 of the 5 chests are in that bottom zone. So I wonder if he goes back there and tries to sneak his way to the bottom zone and see if he can get some goodies out of it.
Well, that was what he did the first time around, probably because he saw those 3 red dragons and said, you know what? The fewer steps I can take on this floor, the better. As we see a spark over bridge on Jack's side, a bridge leading to 1 searchable tile. And like the Beatles song of the same name, looks like he's going to let it be.
Lord of the Synth getting roasted by that wizard. I'll just point out that less than 10 minutes in and on level 8, Lord of the Synth would have killed that wizard, the weakest of the Sherlock enemies, it's still a Sherlock enemy, if it had not had Fire Breath. So we are crazy powerful.
Jackimus, meanwhile, finding the Tablet Cave. No enemy encounters down here, and a little bit of a walk to 1 item, which in this case is some gold.
Kind of a blah result, although if Jackimus does stumble across a town, he has enough now for a large shield or maybe a half plate.
Yeah, defense is definitely something that is at a premium. I mean, we've got Hurt More, we've got Erdrick's Sword, we're just under 10 minutes in here, and we're almost at that many levels.
Yeah, and defense can be nice too, because even though you have a lot of power and a hurt more, you still need to survive to get these things off. So, like an Armored Knight, for example, we saw earlier made short work of Jack, one-shot him. So you still want to have a little bit of defense so you have, the time to get these things off. It looks like Jack is going to go investigate and try to spend that money on maybe a large shield or half plate.
Yeah, with 1,100 gold as we last saw, maybe a combination of a chainmail and large shield if it's available. That might be the best bang for the buck, but I have a feeling that the shops won't cooperate, and now we see a purchase of a small shield, which adds 4 defense points to the total. No need to worry about weapons at this point, since they have the best weapon in the game, Erdrick's Sword. It adds 40 attack power to their total. But a small shield and a half plate, that looks to be the combo that we're going to go with here, based on availability.
Yeah, not a terrible combo. That'll add a nice 28 defense to his defensive power, so certainly will help.
Yeah, 16 for the half plate, 4 for the small shield.
We're talking about all the things they have. They have, hurt more. They have a ton of strength. They have the sword. The one thing that's still missing, we haven't really talked too much about, are keys. And first person to find some keys, that could be really big. You've got 4 treasure chests in the Tantegel treasury, which could also lead to a gold grind. You've got the dungeon behind Tantegel, which could have all kinds of goodies in it. So another thing, you could find keys by finding Remolder, or maybe in a treasure chest, like maybe one of those 4 at the bottom of Mountain Cave, if Jack goes back there, could have a key.
Lord of the Synth, meanwhile, getting level 9, and we saw things start to dry up a little bit. 0 power, 1 agility, 1 HP. Empty Eye, thrilled somewhere. And Lord of the Synth finding the southern end of the Swamp Cave. So knows to cast outside here to go out the other end, and it does not lead to the back of Garenham, but it does lead to a town, and it's Rimmildar!
The town that keys.
Has... Yeah, you invoked it, and there it is.
Yeah, so this is going to get key, again, opens up keys. Ooh, it has magic armor and silver shield if you're looking to gold grind. So you can get some keys, you can look in the treasury, you might be able to pull off a gold grind if there's gold in the treasury. You can look behind Tantegel. When you find Garenham, that opens that up. There's all kinds of stuff you do with keys, and so Lord of the Synth is going to have a whole bunch of treasure he can go open up. I feel like the way this race is going, we got to get Jackimus back into Mountain Cave so he can find a key at the exact same time, so he can be all nice and synced up.
It has been going at that pace thus far.
It does look like Jackimus is going to give Mountain Cave a wide berth, and after seeing 4 red dragons on the first floor, I can't blame him, but that would be something if he could find a key.
And the 2 doors, using up the 2 keys, ends up with a torch for Lord of the Synth. Now, Jackimus is definitely one for exploration, especially having this kind of offensive power and the ability to heal. Jack is just going to go everywhere and cover as much territory in as short of a time as possible.
Yeah, and it sort of makes sense, right? You have you can get rid of a lot of different enemies. Like, they could even take out Armored Knights right now. The Red Dragon is one of the few things they can't combat. So yeah, run out there, get all of your errands done, and then settle down somewhere and grind. It's a pretty popular strategy, and that's definitely what Jack looks like he...
Yeah, I mean, the main enemies, you're going to see them avoid based on not having that hurt more. You're going to see them avoid the Red Dragon. You're going to see them avoid wizards, demon knights, golems. Those all have extremely high resistance to the hurt more spell. As Jack now finds the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, which also has some big bucks.
Yeah, they're going to avoid hurt-mooring those enemies, but there's a handful of those ones you mentioned they can still actually take out with the sword, too. Like a wizard, I think they could probably take out with the sword, maybe probably a demon knight as well. So they won't hurt more those, but they still even have some things to do against those enemies. So really good time to explore, because not a lot of enemies that can really stop them. That red dragon Jackimus found in Mountain Cave was unfortunately one of them.
Jack throwing caution to the wind here. Now, the blue dragon has a 7 out of 16 resistance to hurt or hurt more spells, so it is a coin flip at best, and realizes discretion the better part of valor and opts to run.
Oh, and unfortunately found that Armored Knight at too low of an HP. Armored Knight would take 2 hurt mores to kill, and he could not absorb an attack, so he had to try to run, and unfortunately couldn't.
No, the higher the enemy agility, the less likely you are to run from them. Armored Knights with 86 agility. Only 3 enemies, to my knowledge, have higher agility. The Red Dragon, the Rogue Scorpion, and the Metal Slime. So it's unlikely you're getting away from them. Not impossible, as we saw with the triple run from the Red Dragon earlier from Jackimus, but highly unlikely.
Yeah, at this stage, you probably don't want to get away from the Rogue Scorpion or Metal Slime. So those are goodness,
no.
They're not many that you want to get away from that are hard. Oh, we have dual mean Armored Knights, but Jackimus has more MP than Lord of the Synth did, so he's going to be able to hurt more his Armored Knights.
And that's going to give him level 9. But now we're going to take a look and see what is in the Tangential Treasury. So we have some big bucks, so there is a potential gold grind in play. We have a replacement magic key. That's fantastic. We've got the Stones of Sunlight, one of the essential items in the game, and we've got a set of wings, which works like the return spell.
So probably the biggest thing there, I mean, I guess we did get our Stones of Sunlight. We need those eventually, but we're still hunting for key items anyway. So the big thing that could help Synth there is the knowledge of the gold grind. And with Cantlin nearby, or Remolder, he knows Remolder is all that good defensive gear. If he finds Grave underneath here, or if he finds Mountain soon, he could pull off a gold grind and get a big defensive upgrade, and that might help him move ahead in the exploration.
Well, I think this is either Mountain Cave or it's the Staff Trading Cave, so yeah, it is the Grave, in fact, because we saw Mountain earlier.
Oh, so he might be able to pull a gold grind off here if there's a gold chest.
Well, there's an Axe Knight, which is certainly an ideal enemy to hurt more, as it's a little better than 50-50. You'll be able to one-shot them with a hurt more spell, and this is going to put Lord of the Synth up to level 10. 4 power, 9 speed, 20 hit points, and 1 magic point.
Wow, again, the HP and agility, nice coming in. They got our kind of lower stats, and they're getting filled out nicely. Looks like Jack's making another play at Mountain Cave. Again, if he can sneak his way down to the 2nd floor, maybe pick up an armor, or maybe pick up a key, that's kind of what's got him maybe, I want to say, a little bit behind right now, is he doesn't have keys, but if he grabs a key soon, he's back in business.
We've got an herb at the top of the grave, and another... No, this is the... That's right, this is where the treasure chest glitch comes into play. And that was a dragon scale.
And looks like a Erdrick's token was that second one, I believe?
That is correct. So what's happening here is treasure chests, every time you go to the overworld map, the treasure chests respawn. But due to the programming limits at the time the game was made, the game only tracks up to 8 treasure chests as opened. And every chest opened beyond that 8th chest can be taken over and over again. So in this case, opening the 4 in the treasury of Tangential, that counts as 4. Being in the throne room after the very beginning of the game, those chests are automatically marked as open so you don't take them repeatedly. And then opening that first chest down there in Garen's grave, that was number 8. And then the other 2 next to it were 9 and 10, so they could theoretically be taken over and over again.
Yeah, it's very cute. If you go back and look at the original game layouts, there's no way you can ever possibly open up more than 8 treasure chests without walking on the overworld somehow, but we're not using the original layout, so, we can do things like...
And we've got some big bucks in the Mountain Cave. We had the Fighter's Ring on the grave side there. There's
Yeah.
a fairy water and a set of wings.
Yeah, Jack finally made his way down to that second floor. He'd tried a couple times, and he finally made it there, and he's
Oh,
probably
no.
not thrilled. Oh, and the metal slime got him even. Yeah, he's probably not thrilled with that return. Gold, wings, and a fairy water. Not what you want to see after giving that. He gave it a good 2 or 3 extra.
And you were saying earlier about not wanting to run from metal slimes?
Well, maybe now you do.
I don't believe Synth has that knowledge as of yet, but is now making his way through to the deep part of Garen's grave as Jack not having the luck that he was having earlier with those red dragons.
I have seen a lifetime's worth of red dragons over on Jackimus' screen. I feel like every time I look over there, there's a red dragon popping.
Jack going with a seldom used strat. You can save a little bit of time leaving the king's throne room by casting Return, and it just puts you right out on the overworld.
Yeah, Jack is really... looks like he's focused on Mountain Cave now. Synth, of course, going and digging grave. And aside from that token, which we eventually need, but it's not super urgent, I haven't really found much, right? Synth has the fighter's ring and whatever else is coming up here. Oh, right, a bamboo pole.
I think that is an herb. Yes, because he had 4, he took it 2 more times, so that is an herb deep in the grave.
So our caves are kind of, I mean, the token's required eventually, but our caves are not especially exciting.
Well, there are 2 chests in the mountain cave that were not yet opened. The one on the first floor, and the one in the furthest point of the second basement of the mountain cave.
So there's a little bit of hope, but the other thing this starts opening up a possibility for is we haven't seen our Erdrick's armor yet, and we've seen a lot of treasure chests from the overworld. Now, we do still have, there are 3 search spots. Right? We have an overworld search spot, coordinates that are given to us by an old man in Cantlin. We've got coal search spot. We have a Hawksness search tile as well, spike tile as well. Any one of those could have our armor also. But as we open up more and more chests, it starts to wonder in the back of our mind, is that armor really in Sherlock? That's always fun.
Well, we are quickly running out of options here as far as treasure chests outside of Sherlock. We just have the 2 that we haven't seen in the mountain cave, and wow, 15 power at level 11, another boost. The strength is real.
They're well over 100 strength right now, right? Probably closing on a 110 at this point. Attack power.
So this is interesting here. So Lord of the Synth going back into the grave to set up the... I'm thinking he's setting up the gold grind here.
Yeah, he's definitely setting up a gold grind. Be curious to see what he goes for. If he's going to do the silver and magic armor out in Rimuldar, if he saw some other goodies in Cantlin he preferred.
Oh, so that's interesting. So he encountered the metal slime, and it didn't do any of its thing. And meanwhile, over on Jack's side, oh look, it's Brecconary.
So one thing I will point out is with the wizards having that DL2 breath, and it looks like they kind of use it a lot. Synth saw a lot of it. Now, he wanted to see a lot of it, but he saw a lot of it. Our runners are really going to want to get up to 80 agility so they can repel those guys in Sherlock. You do not want to run into a fire-breathing wizard at any point in time as you're diving for the Dragon Lord. So 80 agility to minimum would be very nice to repel those guys away at the end.
Well, I'm not sure of the calculations, but just as a point of clarification, you'll want 80 defense.
Right, 80 defense, sorry, yeah.
So Synth now wisely utilizing the grind to maximize the keys, and now here is the rapidly increasing money. So you're probably going to see Synth go up to 21,500 gold, as that would be enough to purchase the silver shield, the best shield in the game, and the best armor that money can buy, the magic armor.
Yeah, I would imagine at the very least a silver shield, and if you're going to grind for the silver shield, you might as well pick up the magic armor while you're there.
Yeah, it's only another 7,700 more.
When you can print money, what's 7,700 gold between friends? Oh, Jackimus has found Townville up there. The two towns decided they'd build next to each other in the swamp, because it's just so nice. And I see a third town on the corner there also. Geesh.
Oh, yeah, that down in the southwest corner there. So there's a veritable metropolis going on here.
Two towns hogged all the swamp land, so that other town had to go all the way in the boring forest.
Now we have a question in chat. Does the chess trick work with vanilla? Yes, it does, and you'll see speedrunners utilize it, but for the purposes of the randomizer as a quality of life benefit, the gold was significantly increased. If you were to play the vanilla game, you're looking at single-digit gold, maybe 10, 11, 12 gold at most. And Jackimus has found the town of Cole, and in the search spot, we have Bupkis. Whole lot of nothing.
That's right, I forgot. You actually can set up the chess glitch in vanilla, right? And I believe the speedrun sits there for like half an hour in gold grinds or something awful like that. So since gold grind for like, 2 or 3 minutes is wonderful by comparison.
Yeah, 6 to 13 gold is not nearly as lucrative as 500 to 755.
Jack finding a Star Wyvern, which is decent experience on his way over to the second town in this swamp, which is Hawksness. He actually can do something with Hawksness. He has Hurt More and Heal More and a ton of strength, so it looks like he's going to check out the third town, but I'd not be surprised if he heals up and then heads back up and checks out that Spike Tile and Hawksness. And Synth is back in Cantlin. He's looking to spend his money, of course. Wonder if he checks the coordinates too, or maybe he'll just wait until later.
We have a Garanham find on Jackimus' side as Lord of the Synth purchases the magic armor.
So I don't know if he checked the Keylock shop, but he's going to be hoping that there's a silver shield there, or he'll take a walk over to Mulder where he saw it there too. But he's going to check the spike tile here, or the coordinates. These barrier tiles do 15 damage, but he has tons of heal more, so no problem.
Oh, that is fairly easy. 24 north and 4 west.
Yeah, that shouldn't cause any trouble at all, so I bet I'll check that just in case the armor's there. And of course, once you buy the magic armor, seconds later you always find the Erdrick's armor, right? So I'm giving this a real good chance of being Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, that's you're certainly right there.
Did you gold grind for the magic armor just now? Guess what I've got for you.
Yeah, or gold grinding for the flame sword, and then you find Erdrick's sword because the game knows.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, a Stone Man looks like it's on the spike tile for Jackimus. They have a little bit of hurt more resistance, so he's going to try to land a couple and get this.
Yeah, they're 7 out of 16, so it's about a coin flip.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to grind this with hurt more, but they do have a lot of strength. He can even swing. There he goes. He's swinging and gets a critical, which is nice.
Nice crit.
Ooh, Lord of the Synth takes a death to a blue dragon with all that money, though.
Ooh.
I was wondering if he was going to reset or not, but doesn't look like it. He did save with all that gold, but I think he's just going to roll. He was in the process of counting the coordinates, and it took him through the zone that we saw Jackimus get just abused by red dragons and blue dragons, and oh, there he goes. There's the reset. So he is going to reset to get his money. He does still have the coordinates, of course. He has that knowledge. He does not have the magic armor anymore, but he can purchase that. The magic armor and silver shield were together in Remulder, so I wonder if he just makes a beeline back for Remulder, or if he just goes and repurchases magic armor. Not a big deal there. He'll get his magic armor back.
And we want to thank those of you joining us from SpeedGaming 4. We appreciate the raid. Welcome on in to a Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament first round matchup between Lord of the Synth and Jackimus. Alongside Ryguy3745, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we have had ourselves a very jetty start here, to say the least. Erdrick's sword was in the throne room, so the best weapon in the game right off the bat, and Heal More and Hurt More both came at level 3. So, two of the most potent spells in the game very early on, within the first 3 minutes. So, now it's been a matter of exploration and dodging some of the tougher enemies along the way here.
Yeah, Synth has keys, which has given him a little bit of an advantage, but Jackimus found Little Townville a minute ago, or 3 of the towns that Synth needs to explore. So they both kind of have what the other one needs. So we'll see who finds the missing pieces first.
It's usually how these races tend to go, is there's more often than not a divergence in direction.
One thing this is doing, Lord of the Synth has been doing his gold grind, of course. He's trying to count the coordinates and running into trouble with these armored knights and red dragons and everything. Jackimus suddenly has built up a, about 500 experience point lead. That's going to vary a lot with Hurt More, of course, but now it's up to...
Well, now Lord of the Synth finding the mountain caves, so we'll be able to find out a little bit more about what is going on with those 2 chests that we didn't find. Theoretically, now there are some red dragons here. We've seen them wreak havoc.
Yeah, and he still has that 16,000 gold, so if he gets smashed by a red dragon, I wonder if we'll see a reset or if he'll just give up on this silver shield. But so far, he's getting much better encounter luck. Jack found 4 of them here, and Synth has seen some...
So the first chest coming up empty, so that either, depending on Lord of the Synth's inventory, was either an herb or a magic key.
Man, we come back here, it's going to be one of those amusing situations, well, for us, where Jackimus goes, I can't believe that mountain cave, it was horrible, and Synth goes, huh? What? There were red dragons there? Really?
Speaking of which...
One over...
Oh my goodness.
Synth just wandered through that first floor like there's nothing, a droll, a whatever, snowman, sure. This has got to be like the 7th or 8th red dragon Jack has seen on the top.
Oh man, and there's another one!
At least now he has Heal More and a little more agility, but this is pretty brutal. Someone get Jackimus a droll, please.
My goodness, I mean, at this rate, somebody call Cedar Sinai. This is ridiculous. Alright, so that confirms it is an herb up top.
Synth getting the bad news about the 3 chests we knew about, or the lackluster news, I guess.
Yeah, disheartening, maybe.
Oh, Jack didn't know about the wizards and the fire breath, so he's getting that bad news too after all the red dragon.
Now we're gonna see. There's the silver harp.
So it is necessary to get to the end there, so Jack, at the very least, for all his troubles, will at least be rewarded with something that was necessary, but I don't know how much of a consolation it'll be when he finally gets... And Synth, after all the trouble Jack has run into in Mountain Cave, Synth just took his 17,000 gold, wandered through Mountain Cave, full cleared it, now he's back and off on his way, still holding on to his silver shield money because... randomizer.
Yeah... Now, also of note, advancing along here, the winner of this has the, I would say, unenviable task, looking at the way the bracketing is going, but the winner will have the unenviable task of taking on the 3rd seed overall in Angel FM. No easy feat by any means.
That doesn't sound so bad. I could think of worse. Is he in the chat? I just want to see who was there. Are there any angry messages from him yet?
No, actually, I believe he is tracking another race that may still be going on. I'm not certain. among one of the Randomania networks. So I believe you're in the clear.
I wasted a perfectly good... Oh, man.
But you know what? There's always the VOD.
I'll make sure to clip it for him. All right, so it looks like Synth is back in Swamp, and he's going outside. He's going to head to Remulder and get his silver shield. So after all that, he gets Mountain Full cleared, and it looks like, barring any disasters in these last 10 steps, which... Hope I didn't curse him there. He'll have his
don't give
shields.
the commentators curse here.
They're pretty good. I think we're pretty safe. There you go. He's in there, so he's got his silver shield. So the reset ends up being worth it. I don't believe he made it to the coordinates, though, did he? I don't think I saw a check, so I wonder if he'll go back and try those now that he has all of his...
I think he was having a little bit of issue of east versus west. He went 24 north and 4 east, which was right around where the mountain cave was, and that tripped him up earlier.
That always gets me to, you know, the real jerk in this game. Everyone calls the Rainbow Drop guy the jerk. That guy in Cantlin's the real jerk. East, west, who talks like that? Just tell me left or right. I would still screw up left or right, to be honest, though.
Oh, there is that.
Synth looks like he's going to explore around in this swamp con. It doesn't look like there's too much here other than Remulder. Looks like it might just be Remulder.
Keyland. Oh, and a fire-breathing Wolf Lord.
Ooh, Synth a little lucky that he was traveling around with more than 72 HP there. So Synth is still looking for pretty much all the locations that that Jack is actually coming right back to now. Synth needs the search bot in Cold, the treasure chest behind Garanham, which I believe the back of Garanham has to have the Harp Trading Cave as well, and the Hawksness Spike tile. They are all right where Jackimus is. So again, Jackimus has the knowledge of where those search spots are, but doesn't have keys, and Synth has keys, but doesn't know where to go take them.
Yeah, this is a bit of a conundrum.
Yeah, and it's one of those where, of course, it's just a matter of time before Synth finds these towns, but it's also just a matter of time until Jack gets his hands on a key, too, so...
The question is, who will do it first? Who will do what they need first?
Jack has built a nice 1,000 experience point lead, but a part of that too was because Synth spent all that time gold grinding and has a silver shield, so another thing to take into account.
Yeah, the silver shield giving 20 defense, the magic armor giving 24, and a rather lackluster level 12. That does add a spell into the mix, so they have every spell except for, or at least Synth does. Actually, no, they both do now. Every spell except for Repel.
Which is probably the spell they might want right now as they go around searching and exploring.
Ooh, and the Drakima with a back attack hurt more. And wow, one-shotting for 47.
Yeah, they're kind of strong.
I'm just crunching the numbers here, but I think at absolute minimum, if that was a max roll, you're looking at about 113 attack power.
Yeah, Synth
but it's probably more than that.
Yeah, Synth had his stat screen up a level ago, and I think it said 117, I want to say, and he just got, was that 7 on the last level? I can't remember anymore. But yeah, they're somewhere close to the 120s by now. They're starting to have almost enough strength and attack power for Dragon Lord at this point.
There is Repel at level 13 for Jackimus, but 0 power. I loathe it.
Well, Repel will be nice because when you have the sword and hurt more, you really don't need to see a blue slime or a Drakey or any of that nonsense. So Repel will let him get just those high-value encounters.
And there's Jackimus heading to the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave. And I have a feeling that at this point, realizing 39 minutes in, being sans keys, that there is grounds for concern here, and now Jackimus is going to start back from scratch.
Well, I think it's tough. I believe if I saw on Synth's screen correctly, I think Swamp Cave, which leads to those keys, is south of Cantlin in the middle of like a swamp or something. So it's something where you could easily look at it and just sort of assume like, oh, it's just a dead-end swamp. And it's not a place you would necessarily go explore. So we'll see if he realizes that and if he goes searches south of Cantlin, because I think that's where he needs to go at this point, which is just south of the castle in Sherlock. Looks like he's mulling over his options there, trying to figure out where he hasn't been. We saw him revisit a couple spots. Like he stumbled across bonus cave again. He had that weird little coastal mountain area again. So I think he might be reconsidering, thinking about where he's been and thinking about where he can still maybe find either a Mulder or that swamp cave.
Frisco Steve may not be too far off in chat either.
Synth finding a red dragon with heal more and with all the power. They all have almost enough power for Dragon Lord, so little baby red dragon now won't be a problem. Still a little annoying, but not really a problem anymore.
And Jack is back and in pursuit. Heading due east. And utilizing that repel spell, now holding on to about a 600, a little less than 600 experience lead now.
It's kind of funny, actually, if you're in Jack's shoes, you would want the levels to get worse because this experience lead means less and less. If, say 13 is the go level or 14 is the go level, that experience lead suddenly doesn't matter anymore if you just have to make it to 14. So in a weird way, he's kind of hoping that the next levels dry up as he hunts around for keys.
And there is Breckenary. And Synth is going to head on in. And
they leave the torch on for him.
Yep, 6 gold. Replenish everything and head right back on out, because, in terms of weapons, no need to go to the weapon shop. Synth has the best of everything money can buy, and a couple of things that money can't buy, or at least one of them in the Erdrick Sword.
Oh, this is good. I think Jackimus is starting to get in the area of that swamp cave, so this could get him. As soon as he finds swamp cave, he's got keys, and he's right back at it. So this is, I think, where he needs. This is Jerk Cave, but I believe Swamp Cave is just off to the left, a little south, I think.
Yeah, Synth has not seen those other towns.
Yeah, exactly. Synth is looking around frantically for those other towns. Jackimus is frantically looking around for Swamp Cave. Okay, it was a little further south than I thought, but here he is. There's Jack. He's going to have him soon.
Very reminiscent of my race last night, where the Seawolf was looking for the Rainbow Drop Cave, and I was looking for Garen's Grave. And we both found what we were looking for at about the exact same time.
Oh my gosh, and look, Jackimus has found keys, while Synth has found where to use the keys at about the same time.
Oh my goodness.
How about that? So Jack's going to start, going through and doing all of his checks. He's going to check the treasure. He's going to check Garen's grave behind Tantagle. He's going to take his keys back to where Synth is and check Garenham. Synth is making those checks first, but again, remember, Jackimus is sitting on, about a 800 experience point lead at this stage, so it'll be interesting to see what the experience looks like when they're both grinding. Oh, it's down to 300 now.
Yeah, it has crept up quickly here, as Jack has been doing a lot of running, trying to get to where he needs to be. So Jack now going to open the 2 doors, find the torch. Meanwhile, Synth gonna take on the Stone Man.
Synth does have the sleep spell. Jackimus didn't have that, so he's going to be able to put the Stone Man to sleep. They're very susceptible to that, and just hack away until it's gone, versus having to throw the Hurtmores. Jeez.
And there is the Death Necklace.
He just 3-shot that Stone Man like it was nothing. Yeah, the Death Necklace, if you put it on, is a cursed item. In the vanilla game, it won't do anything. But if you put it on here, it will give you 10 extra attack power, but at the cost of 25% of your HP. Given that we have really high strength and kind of HP, it's unlikely that we'll see it. But I feel like every time I say that, the very next level has 53 HP and 0 power. So, you know, it's good to have lying around, even if you don't necessarily think you'll use it.
And we're going to see what's in the Garanham chests here, which we've got a torch. We've got some big bucks and a magic key.
Ooh. Now, the back of Garanham has to be the Harp Trading Cave, right? And they've seen the Rainbow Drop Cave, so they've got all the stuff they need for the Rainbow Drop.
Correct, as Lord of the Synth does have the silver harp and had to remember for a second, wait, do I have it? Yes, I do.
Oh, this is a good point, too. Jackimus still has to go back into Mountain Cave and get to the end there, doesn't he?
True, he did not get all the way through the Mountain Cave. So he still has that to go. Whereas, at this point, yeah, Synth has everything needed, just has to go back to the Jerk Cave, and is essentially in Grind and Go.
Yeah, the only thing that's still hanging out there is that armor, and I believe we're looking at a 50-50 of it being on the overworld, right? Because the guy in Cantland gave us coordinates, 118 and 83. That's pretty beautiful. The guy in Cantland gave us coordinates. There has to be an item there, and the only items left are the Fairy Flute or the Erdrick's armor. So that's another thing that I wonder if we'll see Synth look at those coordinates again. I wonder if we'll see him. Is he going for a princess rescue now, maybe? Or is he just checking the spike tile for grinding?
Maybe a little from column A, a little from column B.
Casting outside, go to the north side of Swamp Cave, because that's a little bit closer to the spike tile.
Oh, look, it's our friend the Red Dragon, and he gets away.
Oh, look at this. I think whoever gets to grind and go first, this might be really good for Synth, because this is going to be fast experience.
Yeah, the most efficient grind enemy, but he is going right past it to get the princess.
Yeah, that Axe Knight almost negates any cares for experience leads. I mean, they still matter a little bit, but boy, you can erase an experience lead with that Axe Knight super fast. If you're grinding, the other person's still exploring, of course.
So Jack finding and discarding, and now taking again the Erdrick's token.
Ooh, Erdrick's token grind.
It was because the treasure chest glitch was on, so he didn't know what it said that he had found an herb, but it wasn't really an herb.
I just imagine them like those tokens from the video arcade, like, oh, I got 30 Erdrick's tokens. Do I get a prize?
Yeah, hopefully those places will be back up and running soon. Ooh, my Metal Slime being mean with the Hurtmore. And then it runs away.
Hit and run. So Synth picks up a couple extra Axe Knights, does not have the MP for return, so looks like he's going to cast outside and go to Remulder, spend a completely platonic night with the princess at the inn, and then head back to the...
Oh, opts to cast Repel first.
So what I wonder here too is Jackimus is clearing out the grave. Jackimus will again have to go back to the mountain cave and check out that. But I wonder if this is giving Jackimus a chance to catch up on the exploration a little bit, or looks like is Synth just is Synth trying to do a count here?
Oh yeah, I think I'm certain that Synth thinks that it is east.
And it's really west, right?
Correct. It is 24 north and 4 west of the castle. So yes, the longer that Lord of the Synth is combing the desert and finding pretty much what was found in Spaceballs.
Wow, how unfortunate too that it actually leads somewhere. I know a lot of times when I screw up east versus west, it'll land me in the middle of the ocean. I'll be like, wait, what? And I'll realize I made that mistake. But this actually put him on land, which is really unfortunate. And you're able to get a reference point and everything. I mean, if this was 4 east, this would be a great count. But unfortunately, it's really unlucky as it turns out.
But yeah, this allows for Jackimus to theoretically get through the rest of Garenham. Or Garen's grave, I should say.
Yeah, that said, though, the one thing Synth has going for him is he has the princess. He's going to, Cantlin's close by, so when he realizes something's up with the coordinates, he can recheck them pretty fast. And, if he takes the princess back, he won't even have to count the correct ones. He can just walk right there and have the princess tell him. So once he recognizes it, it'll be a quick fix, but...
It's just that unfortunate situation where you think you're going to Denver and you're in St. Louis.
And St. Louis is on land instead of in the water.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to take advantage of this accident on his way back, though, and kill a few more of them, get some more experience. Meanwhile, Jack is going to Cantlin for presumably the coordinates, so, we'll see maybe from Jack first what's there, and if it is the armor, that could be big. If it's the fairy flute, man, if Synth took all this time to find the fairy flute, he's going to be kind of bummed out about that.
Ooh. But you can see the experience differential is now just 26, and with this Axe Knight, Synth is going to take the experience lead.
Yeah, Jackimus has been a little preoccupied with his whole key adventures. That makes sense, that Synth kills these Axe Knights, and Jackimus not getting experience nearly as fast, but Synth not quite done with this experience. He does have the rainbow drop, but he still has that wonder about that armor. The armor may not be on the overworld again, right? Could be on the could be in Sherlock somewhere. And look,
it is the flute in the overworld.
That was a really quick count by Jackimus too. I mean, even for it not being that bad, he was there pretty fast.
Wow. So once Synth finds that out, oh my goodness. So that means that Erdrick's armor is confirmed to be in Sherlock Castle.
That adds a whole lot of extra fun. Like, do you want to go for a separate armor dive? Do you want to just, this Axe Knight's going to give you levels real fast. Do you want to just get kind of overpowered? You typically will need all of your herbs.
Whoa!
Oh.
Speaking of overpowered, 46 HP.
I think I was just saying
At
a second ago,
14.
right? As soon as I say you don't need the death necklace, the next level gives 54 HP or something. There you go, 46. Death necklace.
To answer the question in chat, the silver harp is in the furthest back chest of the mountain cave.
So that'll help, obviously, right? You can now use the death necklace. You typically want about 130 HP to have enough left over after the minus 25% penalty for the death necklace. You can use the death necklace. That's helpful. Even if you have a lot of power, that's helpful because you'll obviously get more power. And, could do it in fewer heal mores. That might come into play here. But that HP really helps, too, because in order to get the armor, with the armor in Sherlock, you're going to have to walk through a whole bunch of barrier tiles on the top floor. And That typically will take up all of your herbs, possibly a heal more, possibly 2 heal mores, depending on how you work it with your herbs and healing and everything. So if you want to try to dive and win the game, pick up the armor and win the game, you need to have some extra resources. And plus 46 HP counts as extra resources.
Yeah. Now, this is also advantageous in a way for Jackimus, who is one of the runners who uses a name, in this case the letter capital L, that is a strength agility build. So having that high HP, but also with higher agility, that could be advantageous for him going down the road. But the difference is, Synth now has the rainbow drop, is going into Sherlock. Jackimus has to get a lot done in a very short period of time.
Did Synth get his fairy flute? Or is he just giving up on that and going to check Sherlock because the odds are better there?
I think it's just a dive at this point. Not necessarily, I mean, 124... I'm just crunching the numbers here.
Oh, but you need the armor to make it happen either way, right?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, one of the additions to this current version of the randomizer is that, at least with these tournament flags, is that repel works in dungeons, and in this case in Sherlock Castle. So the higher your defense, the fewer enemies you will run into. Although we see a red dragon here on the top floor, that you're not likely going to repel because you would need defense of 120 or higher.
As much as they were giving Jackimus trouble earlier in the mountain cave, this is actually kind of good because this is going to, for Jackimus, this is going to prevent Synth from just waltzing on into Sherlock, picking up his armor and stabbing a Dragon Lord, as Jackimus gets his ridiculous HP.
And you see the difference of those builds. It was 46 HP gained for Lord of the Synth with the strength HP build, only 41 for Jackimus with that strength agility bonus build.
Man, another thing too to point out, red dragons on the top floor make this really treacherous to try to do without Erdrick's armor, because now you take the damage from the barrier tiles. That's 15 HP per step, and if you find a red dragon while you're low on HP, ugh. So yeah, I definitely don't think, well, he's been using his MP up. I don't think Synth has any intention of winning on this dive, but I think he is checking. Yeah, he is checking for the armor, picking up some experience as he goes along as well, but I think he's playing the odds. 'Cause I don't think he ever got his fairy flute, right? He's playing the odds that armors is somewhere in here, and he'll just pick up the experience, the information on. So if Jackimus can finish up his errands, and if he can pull off like a get the armor and win sort of dive, do it in one dive instead of two, maybe.
Well, the other challenge here is with the way these red dragons are acting here toward Lord of the Synth, might it be possible that they send Synth back to Tanagal prior to getting any treasure chest information?
Ooh, they definitely could. I think one thing that plays in that I mentioned way back at the beginning is Tanagal is very close to Sherlock. So if you get kicked out, well, it definitely sucks. But you picked up some experience and you just jump right back in. So I think that is on Synth's side here for sure.
Well, and Synth now going a different direction, was trying to run away from them, but now is just saying, you know what? I've got 124 power. I can hit them in 4 turns on average. Let me just swipe at them.
Getting some revenge on them and getting some very nice 255 experience. It's not going to be as fast as that Axe Knight, of course, in Swamp Cave, but he's getting experience while hopefully making his way towards those treasure chests that could have delicious armor in.
Well, we shall see. Now heading to the 4th basement of Sherlock. Now, does Synth... Well, he's running into an armored knight here. Is he going to use the hurt more? Yes.
Ooh,
it should be a hurt more in a swing here, but it dodges.
looking ahead to potential dives, I feel like with the red dragon on the top zone and the armored knight in the second zone, a get the armor and win dive is probably going to be extremely difficult. But even once you have the armor and you're diving for real, red dragon on the top floor, armored knight in the second zone, not entirely fun.
No, definitely not, although Synth has the equipment advantage of the magic armor, silver shield. Right now, Jackimus still out there with a half plate armor and a small shield.
Yeah, that half plate and small shield would definitely make an armor and win dive very, very difficult.
So here is the final base, and this is just a dive for exploration. So we'll see here. We've got 6 chests. I almost feel like we should have had the pyramid game going. So we've got an empty chest. So that was an herb. We've got a fairy water. We've got some big bucks. We've got a torch.
Ooh, is it going to be in vanilla? Well, vanilla sword.
Well, vanilla sword. We've got a magic key up top. There's the Erdrick's armor. It was in the 250 chest.
Now, we knew it had to be somewhere in there. Ooh, red dragons in the bottom zone, too. This is going to be one heck of a dive. We knew it had to be in there, but Synth, I don't think had seen the overworld, so he did not know. I bet his heart rate was going a little bit there, trying to figure out if he had missed it on the overworld, but he's got his armor now.
Well, if he had missed it in the overworld, or if he had to double back to the vanilla sword location.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy to know that, he doesn't have to try to figure out what went wrong there and figure out where the search spot actually was. Because if it wasn't here, he was going to have to go back out and figure out that whole problem. But now he knows it's not necessary. Still, though, I mean, that 46 HP, I mentioned as far as using the death necklace, but that is really handy for this. This is going to be a messy Sherlock dive, I think, with reds in the first top zone, armored knights in the middle, and reds in the bottom zone. So having that extra HP so you can absorb some hits without having to just instantly use a heal more will be nice at least. And the armor, Synth has the armor now, so he's going to restore 1 HP per step. That'll help too.
So apparently we missed Jack getting the harp along the way here, because he traded in for the staff and just got the rainbow drop and is now in Cantlin, so buckle up. This just got interesting here.
And of course, on the spike tile, after LordoftheSynth was unable to get his fairy flute, on the spike tile we have a golem that also has sleep, just for fun. Although it looks like he can be stop spelled, but...
And there's a big 255, and Synth gonna just try to get a little bit of a grind here and get closer to 15, it looks like.
Yeah, he just had 2 MP left, so he needs to get out of here. Somehow, I'm assuming he's probably just going to take this one just because it's here. Looks like he casts sleep a lot, so it's almost free. And then I'm sure he'll death warp and then go finish up whatever he needs for go mode on that axe knight. Yeah, it's actually too bad this is way down at the bottom of Sherlock, because as it turns out, this golem with looks like it's probably 75% sleep and looks pretty susceptible to stop spell might have been a pretty nice grind, but no resources, so Synth's gonna have to give it up.
And there's the sleep, and that's sending him back, but well, here we go. Level 15 will certainly tell the tale. Right now, from what we saw of the stats, 124 attack power. Not going to get it done, although...
Well, we do have that death necklace,
yeah,
which can get us up to
thinking.
134. It's a little closer. It's still with reds and armored knights and reds, but looks like Synth's going...
Just 11 heal mores. I'm just doing the math here. 14 attacks, 8 to 17 range, 14 on average with 11 heal mores if he makes it down with all of them. And no double potential.
Yeah, with the death necklace,
I don't feel great about it.
You would need the Dragon Lord to have low HP. You would need to have above average rolls, and that's assuming you get all your resources to the bottom. I wonder, well, he didn't kill that blue dragon. I wonder if he's very close to 15. I wonder if he was going to pick up 15. Maybe, in fact, he's going to run for everything and just pick up 15 on that golem and see if that's enough. Because that's another option, too. You don't need to kill anything. You're, what, 2 golems away, and the golems are just a couple stop spells. So maybe he's going to, burn the 4 MP on the golems and see if 15 gives him enough power to go.
Well, he is going to want one more enemy. One golem will not do it, as he is 307 experience away from level 15.
Maybe he's thinking of doing 2 golems, because they were pretty free. Once they get stop spelled, they seem pretty free, but maybe he just wants to grind at the bottom on the golem, too. Maybe he thinks the golem's a good grind. Oh, maybe not, because he would have taken that one out.
Yeah, Lorgon making a good point in chat. He probably feels behind given the time that he spent combing the desert looking for the overworld item and not finding Jack.
Oh, true. Well, no, Jack was over in Garenham clearing out.
Exactly.
And on cue, Jack finds out about the sleep from the golem. So I'm sure that'll be... He's probably annoyed with it now, but that'll be good information when he makes it the spike tile of it.
Well, this is... Given the MP that's being utilized here, this is not going for game. This is definitely an armor dive.
Right, but when Jack does make it over the spike tile and sees the golem, I'm sure he'll take note that they have sleep, and he'll probably do what LordoftheSynth did, bust out a stop spell, and so it won't be as big a deal. It's always terrible on the spike tile to get bad information like a sleep or a DL2 breath on the spike tile, so at least Jackimus got that information ahead of time, so he knows when he does see them on the spike tile, like, that's a thing.
So it looks like Synth is going to selectively fight to level 15 and see if that is the level.
Yeah, whether he feels behind or not, it's not a terrible idea because 14 is pretty close. Like, he could do this on 14. He's made it down here with almost all of his resources. Oh, shoot, there's a red drop.
Is able to get away, though.
And, you just need slightly above average rolls, or you need the Dragon Lord to have low HP, and you can definitely do this on 11 heal more. So if he picks up 15 for a little extra power, a little extra safety, that could help, or... he maybe just get it done with slightly better rolls. So it's not impossible at all.
Oh, he cast sleep and he meant to stop spell.
Yeah, I think that was I think that was a miss menu there.
And now if he casts another, he's gonna lose. Wait a minute, he did sleep twice?
Wonder if he has his Stonemen and Golems. He got him to sleep, though. Wonder if he has his Stonemen and Golems mixed up. But yeah, now he's going to have 10 heal mores to do that.
I mean, going for the Swaggin Golem in a sense, in that the normal resistance of a Golem for the sleep spell is 15 out of 16.
All right, well, he's through there. I don't know if he's going to want to... just 52 experience shy of 15 in a much safer fight, but I think he's got to go for it here.
And Jack picks up the Erdrick's armor.
Wow, so if Synth doesn't get it done here, and Jack leaves and comes back, we could see, like, synchronized dives.
Well, Jack taking the death, and you see now the experience differential just 46. And Synth is putting on the death necklace in the Dragon Lord 1 fight.
That makes sense. Get the advantage, the extra HP, and then get your plus 10 attack power going into DL2.
So here we go. 14 attacks on average and a back attack.
Oh, no. Oh, but it wasn't enough. He still has his attack.
He has a couple of fairy waters, though. So there's 14, although his attack with the death necklace is 8 to 17, so it's a moot point.
Yeah, I was gonna say 134 is about the same as fairy water, right? But he's going for the fairy waters. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't particularly help though.
Yeah. So we're up to 28. Now the Dragon Lord can have anywhere from 150 to 165 hit points. There's 12. We're up to 40.
Not to distract too much, but on the right-hand side, Jack has just picked up 15 as he's diving for game 2. Nothing there, so a little more MP. Jack is backing out to go take advantage of that extra MP. He'll have a few more heal mores to use when he dives, but this could be real close if this doesn't work out.
So 59, now 73. With just 4 heal mores left to go.
Ooh, that sounds a little behind the curve.
Now 82. We may have to see a Swaggin Lord attempt here.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is starting to get into hurt more territory. This is gonna need some really good rolls, it looks like.
93. Now 106.
Okay, if he's got low HP, we might be able to get there.
He's attacking all the way through. Got a max roll of 17, 123.
That was big.
He's down to his last heal more. 138.
He's gonna get in there,
attack.
right?
And he does it!
Wow.
154 is enough!
It was a low HP. Wow.
On the last possible attack. And Lord of the Synth is going to do it here. Get out your GGs as Lord of the Synth is going to advance to the second round of the upper bracket with an official SRL time of 71 minutes and 4 seconds.
Whew, that was a good thing too, because look who's hot on his heels. Jackimus is right in there. He's gonna have his Dragon Lord down in just a few minutes too. So that's wow, what a last attack.
He was definitely rolling high on a couple of those, a lot of 14s, 15s, 16s, and 17s. There weren't a whole lot of single digits, a lot of 8s or 9s, and it was just enough. I'm curious to see what the DL2 stats were.
Well, said if he had low HP, and boy, 154, that's the most he could have had, right? 154, that qualifies as low already.
It's definitely on the lower end, and according to Lorgon, 153, so it was just enough.
It's called efficiency, right? Why do more damage than you need to?
Absolutely, and Lord of the Synth is going to join us here. He's asking for a moment to let the adrenaline wear off. More than understandable.
Yeah, he's also, it also is nice to know, too, that Jack did pick up 15. There was pretty much nothing on 15. There's maybe an extra heal more, I think, was all that was there. So, not like Synth missed out on anything big. If he had gotten 15 on the bottom, he wouldn't have been able to make use of that MP anyway. So 15 did not end up mattering.
And that is the gamble that you sometimes take if you fight your way down to get a level on the way, is you figure, all right, it'll give me the stats to be enough, except it doesn't.
Hey man, 1 extra power.
1 power to rule them all. So we are awaiting Lord of the Synth. I think, are we good to bring him in here?
But thou must.
But thou must. A little screen swag, absolutely. I know it well. And Lord of the Synth joining us here in the commentator's booth. Congratulations and GG. Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
I don't know. I called it efficient, Synth.
Discord is being Discord as we see the green light on, but no audio coming out. Gotta love those technical difficulties.
I switched my audio output so I wouldn't get any echo.
There we go.
So, the first thing I'm going to say, a very, 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 very playful taunting of the people who picked Jackimus to win by a 3-1 margin who are playing along on Challenge. That's all good.
I mean, Jay did win technically, right?
That's true. So the first thing off the bat, did you like me sleeping instead of stop spelling that golem on the way down?
I like that you hit it eventually. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a swagging golem if ever I saw one.
So the big thing for me about that seed was, you saw me search the desert with a potential Swaglin setup because I was originally intending to grind the Axe Knight and then take her all the way to the Dragon Lord, and then throw up a Three's Company image when I finished. But I went the wrong way, so I wasted a bunch of time searching that desert. At that point, I was like, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50 shot that it's the armor or the flute. I knew that much. And they can both be in a chest, right? They can both be in a chest. I hadn't found Tanagel Basement yet, and I wasn't about to go looking for it, so I'm like, the only thing I can really do is gamble on the armor being in the Sherlock.
I have to interrupt here, Lord of the Synth. Jackimus is standing in front of the Dragon Lord before accepting the offer and is casting Hurtmore over and over again.
Get him!
Here, I gotta see what's going on with this.
Jackimus has just dropped a forfeit.
Oh, that's like the most Jackimus.
And he did the comment of half the world.
So yeah, by the time I was, I decided, if the armor was going to possibly be in Sherlock, I was just going to grind, and then look for the spot, and then that turned into, oh crap, I've got to be behind. When I realized I was searching in the wrong spot, and I looked over and I'm like, oh yeah, 4 west, not 4 east.
Yeah, I pointed out as we were watching that, it was also really unfortunate because, I mix up east and west all the time, but a lot of times when I mix up east and west, it lands you in the ocean or something, and you know that something went wrong. So it's kind of unfortunate that actually landed you on a...
Yeah. It's kind of funny, like, I never screw up the coordinates these days, I guess, except when the adrenaline of being in a tournament match is thrown into the mix.
Hello, humans.
We have Jackimus joining us as well, and providing entertaining fashion as always, even when falling behind here.
Hey man, you gotta have some fun with it. It's Dragon Warrior.
It most certainly is. That I had to interrupt the interview because I saw what was going on and I couldn't not acknowledge it.
To address Zarnak's question in chat, I just got it backwards. That first dive when I got to the golem, he slept me and I woke up and then I'm like, okay, let's see what a stop spell resistance is, and then that final dive, just the adrenaline, it's a spell that begins with an S, so I'm gonna cast it a few times, and I burned a heal more on that. I lost a heal more on that, so I was really sweating the DL fight.
And it was very close. Yeah, you were down to the absolute last swing, and it just happened that Dragon Lord had rolled low on the HP. It only took 153. You would hit for 154 with some pretty high teen hits throughout. A lot of 14s, 15s, a couple of max 17s.
Yeah, I hit like 2 or 3 9s in a row, and I really started sweating the fight then. Also, you saw me take a few extra steps. They were not healing steps before I actually spoke to Dragon Lord. I was contemplating whether to take one more encounter because I'd seen some stuff I can kill to get level 16. Or was it level 15? No, I was
Oh, it's
yeah,
level
it was
15.
Yeah, so
Well-
I thought about trying to take one more encounter. I'm like, yeah, with my luck, I'll hit a red dragon and it'll all go to waste.
Yeah, we pointed that out too while it was going. Jackimus picked up 15 on the way down as you were fighting the Dragon Lord, and it had 1 power, 1 agility, and 2 HP. So you didn't miss out.
Yeah,
14 was totally plenty in this seed.
yeah. I thought about, since Cantland was close, I thought about after I got the Rainbow Drop, I thought about just stocking up Fairy Water and using a more extended Fairy Water strat. But since
But on the
my
death
max
necklace,
hit-
dude, you had tons of hit points.
yeah, which is what I did.
Exactly.
Yeah, the fairy water strat would have almost, I mean, with the death necklace on, it would have been a very slight hindrance as the fairy water uses 8 to 16, whereas your attack would have been 8 to 17. So it would have been 6 of one, half dozen of the other, in a sense.
Yeah, I figured since the Fairy Water was going to be in the same range, I would just fire off the 2 that I had in my inventory and hope it would get me to around 30, and it did. I think it got me to 28.
Yeah, no, it everything rolled well in that regard, and yeah, there was concern of your combing the desert, and yes,
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the VOD and I'm gonna laugh my butt off when I see that. Combing a desert with Gwaelin in hand.
yeah. The reasoning behind it, I think I had a feeling, but I didn't quite call it out that it was something other than I didn't think you were bringing back to get a count of the coordinates, because I mean it was what, 24 and 4. It wasn't that much.
Yeah, and yeah, I grabbed her just for Swaglin. But then when I realized I'd messed up the count, I'm like, okay, well now I have to do the Sherlock dive. So I just went ahead and turned her in the event that only the fairy flute showed up. I also contemplated doing a Swagmore on that last attack. I had lost count. I figured I should go down swinging. Oh, it would have been great if I'd landed it, but yeah, that would have cost.
Maybe. It's hard to say. In a more serious note, I was my own worst enemy tonight. I spent 20 minutes looking for a town that I already knew where it was and felt kind of dumb. And I miscounted my keys even though it didn't matter at that point. But I'm not going to be too upset over it. Stuff happens. Get it out of the way now, win the next, 15, 16 in a row, and I'll be champion. That's all you got to do.
Nice. Yeah, I did my level best to cost myself that race. I made a number of errors.
Well, I'll say, Jack, it's somewhat fitting. Your screen is red right now because I feel like for the first 20 minutes I saw nothing but red dragons every time I looked over it. You're
Oh, those
yeah,
red
the start
dragons.
was a little impolite, but even then, had I explored a little bit better, maybe I could have gotten off to a better start. I mean, the offense was never a problem, which was nice. Sword in the throne room hurt more at level 2 or 3.
3, I think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, really. I could see Sherlock being a problem in some situations. Yeah, I just screwed a few things up. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. The Lord of the Synth is your victory tonight, and a victory well earned, I have to say. But you don't want to count this Jackimus fallout out. I might be able to win a few more on the other side.
I will say, all things being equal, I definitely am at least a slight underdog to Jackimus. So me teasing the people who are playing along on challenge really is just teasing, because I probably would have picked him over anyone else in week 1 if we had seeded differently.
Yeah, I haven't played this in probably since 2019, so yeah, maybe some people like to practice and stuff before a tournament. I'd rather just go in and fly by the seat of my pants, and tonight it didn't work out. But, it's got me back in the groove. I'm feeling good about things, even though if I lose, I'm out. So we'll see how it goes from here. Yes.
The funny thing about this, and I know some people in chat and some people in race rooms know I'm actually kind of frustrated with this randomizer right now. I was literally going to just approach this tournament as a tune-out, which is why I was doing things like swaggling, because I was just trying to put on a show.
Well, that's important. You have to have fun with it. If you're not having fun, why play the game in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just feel like I've been off my game for a while, so that gets a little frustrating, and that just makes that sort of thing worse.
Well, you won tonight, so that's a confidence booster for you, and good luck in the next round up on the beautiful people's side of the bracket. I'll be down with all the ugly sorts now, I guess.
Well, I might be joining after next week.
Wait,
not a slouch.
Is he calling me and you, Ferran, ugly? Are we ugly sorts, Ferran?
Actually, I resemble that remark. I've got a face for radio.
Exactly right. You know what we're talking about here. It ain't the look of the face. It's the sound of the voice.
Ew, so I'm 0 for 2. What else do you have?
I don't know, man.
boy.
I think you sound pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe not as suave as Ferran or myself, but you're sounding all right there, bud.
I'll take what I can get.
So yeah, I am up against Angel next week, right?
That is yes. With the victory, your your prize is that you get to take on the 3 seed in the tournament of Angel FM.
Is Angel here yet? That's like a bye. You're good, Lord. Let me vote on that now. Is he here yet? Come on.
Yeah,
he didn't miss that one, did he?
Angel is in chat. He did not miss that one.
Gosh, finally.
Let's go, Bruins!
That is definitely Jackimus's outro, as Jack in the bonus bracket will face the loser of the second round upper bracket matchup between, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, Marishu Online and Up to NG. So, oof. Can we get another? Can the Cinderella story of Marishu continue, or? Well, if that's the case, you get a Jackimus Up to NG matchup, which certainly is no slouch. Well, we'll see how it goes. That's why they play the games, that's for sure. Any other thoughts here before we wrap things up here on Speed Gaming 2?
On my end, just GG Jackimus. Thanks for getting this on Speed Gaming and doing the comms and the tracking. It's always appreciated.
I already said my final thoughts.
True, you did say let's go Bruins.
Yeah, thank you too, of course, Jackimus and LordoftheSynth. That was a real fun race, much closer than you guys. I don't know, maybe seemed like. I know, Synth, you said you thought you were behind at points, but that was actually pretty close throughout, so thank you too for a well-played.
Thank you. And yeah, on that, it was probably about it was about the time I realized I had made the wrong decision with the Cortis. That's when I really started feeling like I was way behind.
Alrighty, well, I also want to make sure that we thank behind the scenes here Cami and Renikai, who was taking care of the tracking. Definitely a great help here, and thank you to all the folks here at Speed Gaming, among the Speed Gaming networks, for bringing the Dragon Warrior Randomizer 2020 tournament to you here. as it's coming via a variety of networks because of the number of entrants. So that certainly is a good thing here. So thank you so much for tuning in. I believe we're going to stick around here with the Speed Gaming networks, as over on the main Speed Gaming channel, there is a Mega Man 2 randomizer tournament that's going on, and it's looking pretty close heading into Dr. Wily's castle, so you definitely want to check that out. For my broadcast partner, RyGuy3745, for our tracker, Kami and Renekai, for our runners, LordoftheSynth and Jackimus Wedge, and for everybody in the Speed Gaming networks, thank you for tuning in, and good night here from Speed Gaming 2.